Happy Monday morning. I am just getting everything started here. We had some breakfast and right now it's already about 75 degrees, so it's perfect outside. And I have been digging up some of the weeds in our driveway with a shovel. And the kids were out on their bikes while we were playing, and now my daughter's down for a nap and my son is still out playing. And I am doing some laundry. I do sheets and towels on every other Monday. So today's a big laundry day for me, and I will be getting everything back in order around the house. We had a pretty big weekend on Saturday. We went to play putt-putt as a family, and it was super crowded and super fun. And our now four-year-old boy, that's crazy, was really good at it. So he thoroughly enjoyed it, and we took our daughter, who's 1, in the stroller, and that was good too. But it was a fun time. And then we went out to dinner, which was great. And then yesterday on Sunday, we live in a pretty big agricultural community and it's harvest time right now. So we went out to one of my family members' wheat farms, and my son got to ride the combine and check out all the harvest activities going on. So that was fun, but also super grueling for everyone. So we were all pretty exhausted yesterday. And we got dinner out and are just starting the week with quite a few things going on, quite a few things that need to happen in the next day or two. And we'll go from there. But I am going to show you my garage and I guess remodel I did. It's been several months in the making. There's been some clips interspliced in my previous vlogs, but it was super dingy green and really old and had a lot of holes and things around, and just probably covered in about 75 years worth of dirt, which was pretty disturbing, and just critters hiding everywhere. But I really wanted to lighten it up and really freshen it up. And I know it's kind of random to paint your garage, but I spend quite a bit of time out there and the kids play out there a lot. So I really wanted it to be a space that we wanted to be in and kind of make it our own with the organization and such. But another thing I'm going to show you today is my plant collection in here. I am not a green thumb at all. I am actually really bad at plants, and for a long time I had a vendetta against fake plants, and I kind of still do, but I try my best, but I repeatedly kill them. So these are the ones that I have remaining, and we'll see how they do. But I just wanted to do a little bit of a plant tour because I do find those videos pretty fun to watch. And most of the time those are done by people with green thumbs. So this will be done by someone with not a green thumb. And yeah, a little later I might talk to you a little bit about some of the issues I have with the minimalism stuff. I've kind of been talking about the toxic minimalism mindset and some like weird like fetish topics they have around minimalism. But anyways, stay tuned and see what we are doing today. Definitely getting somewhere. The garage, I painted all of it a color called Creamy Mushroom from Bear, and I did the ceiling too. This took a couple months just because of all the intricacies of the edges and things and all of the kind of hidden spots with the garage. I think it looks great. It looks super light in here. It was a darker green before, I'll show you in some of the clips. But I did paint this shelf as well that had kind of rattan curtains and was pink and just covered in dust, probably 50 years worth of dust everywhere in this place. And I did paint the one crawl space and clean everything up, and the trim I did white. And I kind of reorganized the shelving here for most of our brooms and things and put a lot of the kids' toys out here because we only use one of the two sides of the car garage, and the other side is kind of their toy area and where they play. So with the organization of the garage, we have everything in kind of three areas. The main shelf, that was the one originally shuttered and super dusty and just for leaking oil and bottles like that. And the things I've done up here have just kind of been like, I have a basket of gloves, some extra goodies, the faucet covers for the winter, our charging pack for when we travel. I have installed the paper towel rack for the paper towels, and then just some other little hanging hooks and things and little catch-alls. And then for the secondary kind of alpha shelving area, this came with the house, and I actually brooms and rakes and car cleaning things, our blower, and then from the bottom two shelves and on the ground we have some toys. The pegboard where we keep kind of the tools, and I don't know, I could technically move some of these to the shelf and probably mount them, but we'll see how that goes. So as of now I have just our stroller, our single stroller, a bag full of the kids' balls, some hedge clippers, little broom, little shovel, tape, and our snow shovels. And I have them set really specifically like this because there's a blade on one of them, and I don't want the kids bumping that when they're grabbing all of their toys. And then over here we have our kind of trucks and scooters and bikes and basketball hoop, stroller situation. And this whole area in here, they play with all of these things, and we leave this door open so they can go in the backyard too. And then we have our Tesla charger mounted on the wall with the NEMA 1450 installed, which is just a dryer outlet, and that's installed in the wall, and a full charge at the house now takes about 4 hours with this outlet. And then over here we have just kind of a shelf with some extra buckets of huge rocks we've found that I anticipate to start a garden bed with. We'll see how that goes. And then just a stool and a bucket makeshift trash can. And then our extra shelf over here, we just keep extra bags and just kind of what we immediately need to put in the house or in the car from here. So I have a snake plant by the door that I don't think I could kill if I tried. I water most of my plants once a week, and if they're damp, I water them once every other week. This is a watermelon plant in my kitchen that's also quite prosperous considering its actual caretaker. I do have quite a bit of sun for it though. This is my biggest success story. It's a pothos that I actually propagated from my mom's pothos, and I'm proud of this one. This pothos also very successful, a Home Depot find, and quite hard to kill. I've even strung it up so it looks thicker than it really is. Another snake plant, which I think are quite easy to handle, so I use a lot of them in my house. This little thing that does okay, I put it here to get extra sun, but it's normally up on the shelf in my fireplace. And this poor guy, there's not enough light in here, so it's really starting to deteriorate, but I do like it. We'll see how it goes. I have to replace it with a fake plant, because I do have another fake plant in here that actually looks great. I despise fake plants, but this one looks exceptional. I might have to get another one. In the bedroom, I have this cute little one. I can't tell if it's doing great or terrible. I think it oscillates between the two, but it is pretty fun and funky. And then on the other side of our bedroom, I have this fun jade plant that actually serves a purpose to cover nasty coconut oil stain on the nightstand, but it's been doing really well, and I keep all my fun little rocks in there. So for the studio plants, we have this one that I think it's looking pretty good, but it does have the dying leaves on this side, but it does get quite a bit of sun here. We just recently lost a few large palms in here when it was 100 degrees. We have this kind of, I guess maybe a fern or something, but it's got kind of needles on it. And this thing's doing much better than I would ever have thought. And then over here for the third plant, we have, it's like I thought it was dying, but it got moved in here and just recently started growing babies out the top. So it looks like it's doing pretty well, but it lives in this high chair that we're not using and gets pretty good light in here. I just have to multitask if I'm going to be sharing anything. So I'm gonna finish painting up some of these last touches in the black bathroom while I talk with you. I have been thinking a lot about the idea of like kind of the one bag fetish talk, and I call it fetish. I know it's not a fetish, but the one bag travel, living in a one bag thing that became popular a few years ago. And I read the book, what is it, 100 Things, or Living with 100 Things, where the guy kind of artificially put everything in a storage unit and lived with 100 items for a year, and then found out the importance of minimalism, that whole concept. And he, you know, it had some good notes. But overall, I just feel like the whole concept is really, I will say, unrealistic. I know a lot of people think minimalism as a whole is a very unrealistic idea, especially if they don't ascribe to it. But I mean, I don't. I think it's quite realistic once you're living in it. And I did do the one bag traveling like life for quite some time, and when we've done these bigger moves, we've always had, you know, I always try to just travel with one bag because it's easier. But now that we have a bigger family, I can fit everybody's stuff in one bag, but I realize it's actually really unpractical for us, because then when you get to our destination, everybody just pulls everything out of the bag and it's chaos and there's clothes everywhere. So I've learned it's actually better to just have like the kids share a bag, and then my husband and I will each get our own bag, or we'll share a bag. And that way there's a little bit of order to the process. And we do drive more than we fly, so it's easier to have more bags in this regard, but we are going to be flying coming up in a few months. And so we'll have to see if I reevaluate my choice on that. But it is interesting to me just how everybody thinks it's super cool to talk about how few things they have in their bag. And I like that. Like, I like the numbers thing. So I understand I have 40 possessions, Rob Greenfield perspective. And I like that. I think it's fun to experiment with that. And I don't think having the fewest things you can ever have is really necessarily the answer for everyone. And I do think it grants freedom to those people who want to live like that. But I do think it definitely pushes like an unrealistic expectation of what minimalism is for, or what it could be for most people. And I think that unattainability makes it unappealing to people. So I do think that's interesting, but I mean, I am a pretty extremely minimal person, and we are a pretty extreme minimalist family in most regards. But I do think there's a point where practicality overrides ambition of how many things you're going to have and how you organize them. So that's just my take on that. That was something I wanted to say. I'm reading a really good book right now. It's Consider This by Chuck Palahniuk. It's a reading about writing, like an analysis of writing techniques book, and it's really good. It's very helpful. I've taken a lot of notes on it. And coming up next week, I'm going to be showing you guys my art studio tour of my home studio. I have we have like a back building that we use as a home office or a work from home office for my husband, and an art studio for myself / gym / catch-all of everything. So I'll be showing you guys that space, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good one. Bye.